Okay, let's click back on our arrow tool because it's easier to see that when we're down here and over here. You now have down here your layout list. You can switch between layouts this way. You can also manage layouts, and there's some things you can do in here which are pretty cool. You can rearrange your layouts if you want. You can decide whether they're going to display in browse mode under this layout menu, or in find mode, or in preview mode. If you uncheck this, they're only available from this menu in layout mode for developers. We'll leave it checked for right now. You can go ahead and create a new layout here, edit an existing layout, duplicate it, delete it, do all kinds of things here. And you can double click on it to open it, or click on it and click open and get to that layout. All kinds of things you can do here. You can filter it up here. So it's a very powerful dialog here that allows you to do a lot of things as far as manipulating all your layouts. But one of the best things is it just lets you see all of them real quickly, what tables associated with them and things like that. This button right here lets you get into layout setup. There's a lot of options in here that we'll go over eventually, but not right now. We did go over some of them in views. Remember the table view and the properties? But there's a lot of options here for setting this layout up. Then right next to it you have your table. This is actually a table occurrence, but a table occurrence is an alias or shortcut to a table. It represents it, so it's kind of the same thing, and table occurrence is a long word to fit in there. So it's really kind of the same thing, but we'll get into the nuances of that later. So here it shows you what table this layout is showing data from. Over here we have a great new feature in FileMaker 11. It's called your inspector. It used to be a dialog that had very little information in it. Essentially what you see right here, the name of the object, the position, and your auto sizing. But now it has appearance and data and all kinds of things we're going to go over later. So we're going to hide it for right now, but it's basically taken everything from the menus up here that had dialogues and put them all into one little floating palette, so you can easily change. You can select a field and change all the dimensions and the appearance and all that very, very quickly. So that should be a great boon for somebody who's doing FileMaker, wants to get a project done very quickly. You can do a whole bunch of things much quicker than you could from going to 4 different dialogues under the menus. Then right here you have your additional toolbar down here. This shows you your text formatting. You can change your font. You can change your font size, your font color. Here's a new feature in FileMaker 11, your text highlighting. We'll go over that later. You have bold, italics, and underline quickly available here because those are the most common things. You have your justifications here, your line width for, let's say, a rectangle or rounded rectangle, the color of that line. You have your fill for an object, your pattern for the object, and you even have your effects, embossed, engraved, drop shadow. We'll go over all those. So there's a lot of stuff here. You also have your zoom capabilities here. So if you go ahead and zoom here, notice that you zoom in a particular spot. If you want to zoom over here, click first, and then you can go ahead and zoom right to that spot. So clicking first is very important for zooming, and you'll use zoom a lot more in layout mode to get really down to the very intricate work on the layout. And of course you also have the ability to show and hide your status toolbar down here. And this one, which we really haven't gone over because we haven't gone over your parts here, but this is a little toggle that makes it easier to see the objects on your layout, because sometimes these part labels cover it. So if you do that, you can easily see everything on there. Do this, you can easily see what part it is. Switch it back, you can see your objects on the layout. So we're going to go over layout mode in depth. This is just a brief overview here to get you familiar with all the objects on here. That's basically it. There's not much more. We'll cover all the details in the upcoming sections.